Hello, Sunrise Extra friends on a Monday. Oh, let me turn my phone down. We are talking about...
What are you doing?
If you had the music still going, Brian, it makes sense what I'm doing. Feels that music so quick. It's such a good song.
Okay.
It's such a good Sunrise Extra theme song.
I
got a lot of energy today. What I did not have the ability today was to talk. I didn't have a lot of ability to talk today.
Part of your...
My mind's moving faster than my mouth.
You're all hopped up on something. Okay, we are talking about kind of a serious topic, and it's really interesting. We've been doing this poll all morning, and we can put that up too, because we're asking you guys, what should happen next in Oregon's reopening, these phases 1, 2, and 3, now that we are seeing, a lot more COVID cases. There is more testing. More people are going out. More counties are open. We are going to see that increase. Governor Brown over the weekend in a press conference saying nothing's off the table. She could shut everything down again. She could pause. We already saw that section of, pausing those phased reopenings for a period, or we just keep going like we are and we keep watching, the hospitalization rate, which right now is at 13%. That is down a percentage point from 2 weeks ago when I looked. So we're doing okay. We have plenty of hospital beds. And interestingly enough, I'm on the Oregon Health Authority website, and I was telling Brenda this, the most amount of people in Oregon who are testing positive are between 20 and 50 years old. 19% of them are 20 to 29-year-olds. Interesting.
I'm guessing that the biggest percentage of people, period, in Oregon is between the ages of 20 and 50. I mean, I'm just making a guess there. You know what I'm saying, though? I mean, there's more people in that pot to pick from, if you will.
But Nina, we're definitely seeing that across the country. It's not just here
it's younger
in
people,
Oregon, younger people now.
We have more younger people than we have older people. I think that's just a fact. And we have more younger people heading out right now. I think a lot of younger people feel that they are safe from this virus, or at least they feel like if I get it, I'm going to beat it. I do feel like that's the common thought amongst a lot of younger people. Brian Matthews, do we have that poll that we can put up? Director Brian refusing to put it up until now. There it is. So this was the question, and we saw kind of a shift from our 5 a.m. viewers, Brenda and Nina, to our 6 a.m. viewers, where the 6 a.m. viewers seemed to swing this poll in favor of the pause option. But there's the question. The way we stated it was, and I'm reading it right there, how should Oregon proceed with reopening? And the 3 choices are just kind of keep going the way we have been in this phased reopening, hit the pause button and don't do anything differently for the next few weeks or months, who knows. Or should we actually kind of go backwards and go back to closing things down again? And for a long while there, for about the first hour of this poll, keep going was the dominant choice, but pause has taken the lead here in this poll. Third place would be going backwards, which I thought 2 weeks ago, there's no way we're going backwards, right? There's no way we're going to go backwards now that we've come this far with the reopening. But now, based on the number of cases, based on what we heard from the governor, like you said, Nina, at the top, it's not off the table. I mean, we could go backwards.
And Governor Brown says that she would rather not issue a stay-at-home order, but, she would. And we've got so far, producer Rob was just telling me, about 600 people weighing in on that poll this morning. It's going to be interesting to see. I have always thought that she may pull the trigger if things get dicey, but, who knows? Here we go again, potentially.
Yeah. We posted this question on our KGW Facebook page about an hour ago this morning. We've been getting some comments, maybe kind of, get you to think about this issue. So Tiana says, stay closed until things are better. Totally shut down, masks required. So there is one side of the argument. Lisa saying, open up the economy. People can wear masks and social distance. Wash your hands on a regular basis. Next up from Maria, try again in January. January, that's a long way off.
Yeah, that is a long way off.
Obviously, we can't handle being open right now if our numbers are proof of anything. Yes, we're doing better than most states, but we certainly don't want to get where they are anytime soon.
I wonder where she came up with January.
Alice Todd says, let's keep going. She votes for keep going on the phased reopenings. Sharon says, stay the course. No more openings. So she's kind of on the pause. The ice is breaking. We might even have to step back.
I mean, it seems pretty simple, the recipe that, for the most part, epidemiologists are suggesting is that when you can and you're in public, you should be wearing a face mask, and you should also social distance, or let's call it physical distancing. Stay 6 feet away from people.
Right.
I mean, it's not brain surgery. We keep learning more things about this virus constantly. So, take that for what it's worth. But what we know right now, that's the best way to do it. And if you can, be outside, because that also seems to be kind of one of those things that it's better to be outside than inside as far as the virus transmitting from person to person.
So I'm monitoring the comments right now on our Facebook feed, the live Facebook feed for Sunrise Extra. You can also weigh in by texting us. There you see the number on the screen, 503-226-5088. I will monitor those texts by way of my laptop computer. But on the phone, I see some comments from our faithful viewers of Sunrise Extra, including Jeff Lucas. We heard from Jeff last week. I don't know if you remember this, Brenda and Nina. He was in New York City last week.
Oh, right.
Now he's back. He says,
oh, good. We're getting a progress report. Okay.
Right. Progress report. We need more details here, Jeff. But he starts off this morning by saying, coming back from New York City makes me realize that Oregonians need to take this virus more seriously. So obviously you can add some detail. What did you see in New York City that you think, Jeff, we should be adopting here in Oregon? Of course, we have both sides to this story, or both opinions, every day on Sunrise Extra, whenever we bring this topic up. And Robert Hansen provides the other side of the coin with his LMFAO. You know what that means. The whole thing is BS, he says. We still get some of those comments.
I had a comment just like the one I'm going to read on my personal Facebook page. But Tracy, good morning, Chambla says, the protesters, why aren't they getting the virus? Now, nobody has to tell a contact tracer where they think they came in with COVID. So those numbers, I mean, who knows how many people at the protest did or did not get the virus. We just don't know that. Somebody else was asking me that very same thing.
And I've been looking at when the police send down their press releases and they give names and charges for the people who at least have been arrested. Most of them, are in the 20 to 40-year-old range, and that is the biggest percentage of folks in Oregon who have COVID. But yeah, you don't have to tell them anything. You don't have to say if you were at protests or not. I stopped off at Safeway on Friday after work, and it was on Friday, or maybe it was Wednesday. It was like the first day of the mask requirement in Oregon.
Wednesday.
Last Wednesday. And I asked the checker, I said, how's it going? First day of the mask. And she said, and she grabbed behind her a little piece of paper, and she had a tally list, and she was marking down how many people she was seeing in the store that were not wearing masks. And it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. She had started, I don't know, sometime that morning.
Probably
she had 55 people without masks. She said Safeway is not enforcing the mask requirement, and she was upset about it. She said, they don't care about us workers. We're not allowed to ask, where's your mask? Can you please put on your mask? They are told not to say anything. Fred Meyer, Kroger, another large chain that is not enforcing the mask requirement. But this weekend at Freddy's, at my store, I noticed a lot more people in the past were wearing them this time around, now that they are required.
That's the story that we will probably be following up on today, because I was going to make that pitch to our news team this morning, because I heard the same story over the weekend about someone who went to Safeway, was curious why there were so many people in the store that weren't wearing the masks, and was told. I'm hearing this secondhand, so I don't want to report this as fact. But essentially, this person was concerned because they had their mask on. They wanted to see other people wearing masks in the store. They didn't, so they brought it to the attention of the store. And in the way this story was told to me, nothing was being done about it. Kind of like you just said, Nina.
Yeah, it's store policy that they're not enforcing it.
Right.
So Becky White says, listen to the scientists, not the politicians. And Mark Gill on our stream says, masks mandatory in all businesses, but keep everything open.
We went out this week. We had a date night on Saturday, and we went out and had a drink at a bar, and there was one other group of people. They had an outdoor patio too. We sat inside because it was a little chilly, but they had an outdoor patio, and they had a single person out there and then another group, and they had one other group inside the bar with us, and they did a great job. It was every other table had a sign on it that said yes or no. Yes, you can sit there. And they had a QR code the little kind of black and white codes, and you open your camera app and you hover it over. You don't have to touch anything, and up pops a internet link that you touch. Their menu, all of their cocktails and food was then on your phone, so there's no menus to touch. They don't have to clean them. Obviously we'll wear masks. When you sit down, you can take them off. But if you get up to go to the bathroom or leave, you have to wear your mask. You didn't have to walk up to the bar to order anything. And you choose, on your phone. And I thought that was a good way of doing things. But man, it was just, this is dead in there. And so we went and we had tacos at another place. And they had, luckily, a great outdoor parking lot. And they spaced people out. And we sat outside and had our food. And they did have actual menus at that place. But they were able to do some business, and we're just kind of asking them. I love being annoying as a reporter, just being like, so how are things going?
No, you want to know, absolutely.
Yeah, and they're like, we are so thankful to just, try and make some money right now. And everywhere was just doing such a great job of sanitizer and masks, and people were, following the rules at the times that we were there. And I think businesses can figure it out, if you give them a chance, they want to do the right thing.
Hey, Jeff Lucas is weighing in, Drew, kind of giving you a few more details that you asked for earlier. He said people in New York City seem to realize that it takes everyone, in all caps, to use masks in practice. Social distancing, no mask, no service. Here it seems like it is a voluntary practice. And Angela also says most places I have asked won't enforce the rule.
Along those same lines, I'm just scrolling down the list. Lots of people chiming in. Good morning to everyone. We have a big crowd, if you will, this morning on Sunrise Extra. This has always been a hot topic for the last several weeks here on our show. Prince Schumann says not wearing a mask is a selfish act. Whether we like it or not, we are all in this together. Prince goes on to say a little discomfort for the safety of all of us is what matters. And I will tell you, when I go to the store, essentially, and we were asked this question the other day in our newsroom, why do you wear a mask? Why would you tell people you wear a mask? And one of the reasons I wear one is because of those people at the grocery store. They're on the other side wearing one. And I feel it's disrespectful, honestly, to be in their face as close as I am without wearing my own. They're doing it not for themselves, I feel like. They're doing it for me. So
they're doing it also because they have to.
Right.
But yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's
totally.
It should work both ways. And it's almost to me at this point like holding the door when you walk into the business, right? You don't just walk in the door and see someone behind you, I'm going to let it close. Good luck with that. Typically, we would hold the door for people. And now when I walk in there, I feel like, out of respect for the guy in the produce section who's putting up the produce and the woman at the checkout counter or the man behind the checkout stand, I wear the mask for them.
Oh my gosh, I just saw, as you were talking, I was kind of smiling. I wasn't really smiling at what you were saying, but I was looking at Jennifer Taft. She said, I feel bad for employees. I say quack at every person without one. They are mask holes.
Mask holes. That's a good one.
Mask hole. You big mask hole, you.
Touché.
That's great. That's a new term. A new COVID term.
You are a mask hole.
You know what they say about mask holes? Everyone's got one.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, I have an update. You remember we have been talking for weeks now that I have not seen my son in person.
Speaking of... No.
I will
kidding,
never
of course.
tell him that you said that.
Thank you. I'm kidding, of course.
So anyway, we've been super cautious because his sister is in the high-risk group. And so she had a doctor's appointment, which is over near where he lives. He happened to have the day off. So I said, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods. You want to have like an outdoor mask-up meetup? He said, sure. So he came over. We found a big shade tree, a couple camp chairs, 6 feet apart. He had his little mask on, even outside. And yeah, it was so nice just to hang out, even with all those precautions.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad. How's he doing?
He's doing really well.
Yeah.
He's doing really well. We've FaceTimed and that stuff, but it's nothing like seeing your kid in person.
Yeah, no kidding.
Was that emotional, Brenda, to be able to see him now face to face for the first time in a while?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
I was happy. It was a happy emotion, but I didn't get teary.
I'm starting to tear up just hearing the story.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. You're a sensitive one.
I just wonder, we've seen, in Texas was one of those states where the cases are going up dramatically and hospitals are filling up, in Arizona as well. They, went and shut down bars, and then those 7 California counties, they're shutting down bars now. I just can't believe, people are going to revolt at some point.
Right.
If things go backwards. I just can't imagine.
One of the things we're seeing, right, we're seeing this increase in the number of cases, but not in the number of deaths. That has pretty much been at that, 1 or 2 or 0 number for the most part since we started the pandemic months ago. I know we've hit 5 or 6 or 7 a few times, but generally speaking, it's like these big numbers.
Per day, you mean?
Yes, per day. These big numbers are being reported for cases per day, and those tiny numbers for deaths. And that, to me, is why a lot of people probably aren't still as concerned as maybe they should be. In fact, Jennifer also weighs in with that this morning. Jennifer Taft saying not so many deaths, so people have not been scared enough. I'm thinking if you want to get people to start wearing masks, anyone with kids, if you tell them, hey, listen, if you don't start wearing a mask in public, your child needs to be homeschooled starting in the fall. People will start wearing those masks again, right? I mean, that's the thing. Like,
it's going to be like vaccines or something like that.
Well,
you mean? Like if you don't have your shots, you can't come to school.
I think parents start to shake in their boots when they talk about the idea of their kids not going back to physical school in the fall. And they feel like they survived the last 3 months of this school year. But I think everyone's kind of hoping and praying that we get to do normal school again in September. But it's not going to happen, right, if we see this increase in numbers the way we are.
Yeah.
So maybe that would put the fear in some people to say, hey, listen, if you want things to get back to normal, we got to all start wearing these masks.
Terry Hogan-Camp on our Facebook feed says, doing COVID billing now. So insurance, I take it. Please, people, take this seriously and wear a mask. And we're having different people kind of weigh in. They're at different grocery stores, kind of like you, Nina, talking about people not wearing masks. Or somebody gave Costco a shout out saying, thank you for enforcing the customer mask policy.
Jennifer Taft came out with that term, and she has another term. She says, not that much in Vermont. So, Jennifer, are you actually watching us from Vermont? She's been chiming in daily, regularly for a couple of weeks now, but she says, not that much in Vermont. We call people from Massachusetts massholes. Sorry, Massachusetts, I adapted to mask holes.
Oh,
there you go. Tony says, I'm a self-employed hairstylist that touches people every day. I'm scared with COVID-19 cases rising. Even with the new PPE requirements and guidelines, I feel we should not be in phase 1.
Multnomah County, yeah.
Jonathan Walker giving a shout out to Costco. He says, I applaud Costco for enforcing that people in their stores wear masks. All stores should enforce that same rule. Even the mask holes need to wear them, he says. It's catching on now.
I guess Washington and Clackamas County, we're all in phase 1.
Washington,
I keep thinking that, Washington and Clackamas have been in phase 1 so long that they're in phase 2, but they're not.
Now, I do remember a few months back when this big story came out that Oregon would be linked up with California and Washington in terms of moving forward. I mean, I feel like that was a story early on, early April.
Right.
Yeah.
But now we see that Washington and California have both in some ways gone backwards. So that's why I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibility for Oregon in terms of reopening and slowing it down or going backwards a bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to do a lot with hospitalizations.
Oh, Alyssa brings up a great point. My goodness, you people with all your great points this morning. Now we're going to try to get to as many of them as we can. Alyssa Gorham says, do not shut down again. She's in favor of not shutting down. She says, we cannot go backwards. The repercussions to the economy and to people's mental health will be more devastating, she says, than the virus has been or ever will be. And I know there are a lot of people who believe that Alyssa speaks the truth.
Did you read Patty Allen's comment already about we should pause, especially for 14 days after the 4th of July holiday weekend? It will be head shaking if the Tri-County moves to phase 2 before July 18th. Have we been doing that? Because, I mean, everything is kind of a blur because they were saying we'll do a phase and then we wait and we see.
Yeah, it's like 21 days before you could apply to the next phase or something. So I don't know how long it's been for.
I'll tell you, I remember that when they came out. So the earliest that Multnomah, Washington, and Clackamas counties could apply for phase 2 was the Friday after the 4th. So is that the 10th? Yes. Friday, July 10th would be the first day. That would be the 21-day mark where those 3 counties could apply for phase 2. That's 1 week from this Friday.
Yeah. And a week after 4th of July.
Sunny says it's no-brainer. Wear mask. We've got to do it. This will go on indefinitely. Drew, to your point, that's what you do not want to have happen.
Yeah.
Jeff Lucas, rule number 1 right now should be assume that all people are asymptomatic. I kind of do that, right? I kind of do that already. I look at everyone that I don't know and go, you may have it.
Stay back. Exactly.
You may be with it.
Yeah, we shall see. All right, you guys, thank you so much for weighing in. We'll see what happens. Please wear those masks. Be smart when you go out and support local business and follow their rules and the state mandated rules. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.